Uh-oh. There we go. There we go. Good evening. Wow. The struggle is real. Good evening. 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 How's everybody doing tonight? Can everybody hear me okay? All right. Miss Diane Collins, thank you so much for being the first one on here tonight. Jump on. Good evening. Good seeing you out there in Australia. Thank you so much for joining the call. Wow, look at all the beautiful people out there. Look at you, look at you, look at you. Miss Belinda Batiste, good evening. Thank you so much for joining the call. Miss Pat Robinson, good evening. Miss Gail Wiggins, thank you so much. Miss Baker, Caroline Baker, thank you. Tim Carrera up in Minnesota, thank you, sir. Daryl Ranson, good evening. Mr. Ismail, ¿qué pasó, señor? Mr. Freddie Sherman, thank you so much. Mr. Al Randolph is on time. Woohoo! Pastor Collins, good seeing you, dear. And also Miss Ingra over in Australia. There you are, superstar regional director. Miss Kat Williams, good evening. Kathy Williams, good evening. Marcia Carter, good evening. Mr. Natalie Pereira in Vegas, thank you so much. Mr. Payon in Japan, thank you so much. Miss Walker, thank you so much. Mr. Julian Lewis, regional director, thank you so much. And Miss Kaz, oh my God, regional director out in Australia. All the Australians on tonight. Sensational down in Florida. And Mr. Muhammad, thank you so much for joining the call. Hey, I want to let you guys know, I appreciate everybody on the call, whether I'm on here or not. Hey, one person don't stop the show. I had a little internet problems on Friday, but thank God everything went fine. Saturday, yeah, it was Friday. Yeah, Friday evening, happy hour. Well, anyway, thank you all. I want to thank Mr. Bree Clements for stepping up to the plate. I want to thank Mr. Tasha Ismail for stepping up to the plate as always. See, that's what leadership is. You don't have to point anybody to do it. The leaders always say, hey, I got it. Hey, let me step it up. You know, I love that. I love that. Julian Lewis, no matter who, they're always leaders. Why do the rest of you sit and wait for somebody? Let it be. That's what leadership's about, stepping up to the plate. All right, so much for that. I just wanted to give a shout out on that. So thank the leaders for stepping into the plate. Miss Perla Banal, I see you out there. Good evening. Mr. Chris McDowell, good evening, sir. Who else is jumping on here? All right, Miss Eileen, good evening, dear. Oh, Dee Dee Sanders, good evening. I too over in Japan. Good evening, dear. How are you doing? Good morning. Mr. Chris King and Rose Guerrero, good evening so much. Wow, look at all the beautiful people. Happy birthday to Natasha Ismail. That's right, her birthday is today. I don't think she's even on her. She's out celebrating probably. That's why we sing happy birthday to her on Friday morning, on the Friday morning call. For those that remember, today is Miss Ismail's birthday. Friday was Miss Luana's birthday, so we celebrated them very much so. So thank you all. Wow, leadership. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Last week we had 31 leaders on the call, and I'm just taking a poll. We got 38 leaders. So evidently the word went out that what they missed out on, but it's only for leaders. And I only attribute that to people who will get on here voluntarily without reminding them. That's what leadership's about, repetition. You know, like I said, the whole year, I'm on every call unless I'm traveling or somewhere, you know, in this past weekend, but I'm always on these calls. That's what leaders do. Leaders just show up, leaders make it happen. Thank you so much. All right, tonight, you know, last Saturday, excuse me, we had Miss Ingram, we get in the car. So, okay, thank you, Miss Ingram, thank you. Drive careful there. We don't want anything to happen. You're too valuable to us. You are a valuable package out there in Australia. All right. Last week, we talked about having at least 10 people on the call. Mr. Lewis set the ball up on Tuesday before last, and he talked about how committed are you to your business. And then everybody put a number up, and he said, okay, now double it. He said, double it. He said, double it. And then I said on last Saturday on leadership, I said, what we're going to do, I want everybody to have at least 10 people on all the calls throughout the week, not this call, any call, but on call. Who out there got 10 people? Oh, my sister was calling me. Who out there got 10 people in the last week on calls? Anybody? Put your name in the chat. Put your name in the chat. Okay, see, it's so easy to do. It's so easy not to do, you know, and I'm at fault as well. I'm at fault as well. I'll be honest with you. I'm at fault as well. I've got people going on this week, but last week I did not hit 10. I did not hit 10. I hit 3, myself personally. And I said last week, let's be very transparent with each other. Let's be honest with each other. Nobody's going to hold your feet to the fire, but it's your business. Now, being it's your business, I want you guys to understand you can't get where you want to go. Now, Mr. Lewis is on the phone. Mr. Lewis, can you take your phone off mute? I want to have a conversation with you before we start in really deep today, doing a deep dive today. But I want to share something. I got a text from Mr. Lewis this morning. Yeah, it was this morning, and then I called him. And will you tell us what happened with that conversation, sir, when you called me from this morning?
Absolutely. So this morning I connected with Mr. Thomas, and right after our Saturday training, and I let him know that there's an individual that's a good friend of mine. He's very successful. I mentored him years ago and looked up to Mr. Thomas. He respects Mr. Thomas as well, and he just so happened to be in Las Vegas with his wife. They were out there for in Thanksgiving, and they were just driving around having fun and really have a schedule plan. And Mr. Thomas, in the middle of that, he said, connect me, get his phone number, give him my phone number, have him call me in 30 minutes, and let's see, I'll connect with him and we can meet up. And then sure as you know it, Mr. Thomas met up with the individual. I got pictures, I got evidence. They met up, they had fun. And because of that conversation, something pretty outstanding is going to be happening with that individual. And I'm very grateful for Mr. Thomas. I mean, it was right on the fly. And I was just talking about how amazing that is, because he's so, I know other RVPs, SVPs, and on the fly, just yes, I'll be there, and was there. I'm telling you guys, it doesn't happen. So I really appreciate you, Mr. Thomas. I thank you a lot for that.
You're welcome, sir. As a matter of fact, when he called me and I said, it was 12, which it was 12:30. Actually, it was 12:45, 11. It was 12:45 when he called me. It was 12:45 when he called me. I said, well, let's meet up at 3 o'clock. And he said, what about 2:30? I go, well, that's fine. He goes, can you do it earlier? I go, sure. What time you want to do it? He says, what about 2? I go, you want to do it earlier? He goes, yeah. I said, what time? He says, what about 1:30? I said, 45 minutes? Sure. 45 minutes. So we met downtown Summerlin. He pulled up in his Lamborghini, and we have pictures, but we don't want to flash them on here because I don't want to get in trouble showing me standing by his Lamborghini. So we're not going to show those pictures. And we met at a little local high-end place here, little bar eatery, and we sat there. And he wouldn't let me buy him and his wife a cocktail. Matter of fact, we had a glass of wine, and the wine his wife had was from the winery in San Luis Obispo that he proposed her at. That was kind of neat. And you can't find this wine everywhere. And she was shocked that they had it at this bar. And she had a glass of wine, we talked and we rekindled. And before the conversation was over, we called Mr. Julian Lewis. And what did I say, Mr. Lewis, when I called you? Welcome what?
You welcome him to the team. He's jumping in. And sure enough, he's excited. He has goals and he can't wait to start building the business. So exactly what you said, and it happened.
Yeah. He pulled up his nice little Lamborghini. It's beautiful. And we sat and talked, had a cocktail. And I remember meeting him 5 years ago before he got married. He was real impressed with myself. And we just started talking. And he's doing very well in real estate. He's got a property management company and things. So, but he's got no residuals. He says, man, I missed that. I said, so I talked to him. We set a goal. And I can't tell you guys. Let me share this with you. This is leadership. So let's be real. Look. He said, look, I signed up and I signed my wife up. Well, she's my fiance 5 years ago. And we didn't do nothing because my goal was, I wanted to make money. And I said, you'll never make that. Now, this is very important to understand, ladies and gentlemen. You got to get this. Money is not the goal. Even though people say, I want to make money. The question is, my next question to him was, what you going to do with the money? He goes, the reason why I wasn't doing anything, because I said I want to make a lot of money, but I didn't do it. I said, most people that make this goal, watch this, of making money, they're not going to hit it. Unless you tell me what you're going to use the money for. Big thing right there. What are you going to use the money for? And he said, Mr. Thomas, honestly, I'm single, free. I was hanging out, I was partying. I had no need for it. I know. That's why you never stuck in there. You didn't hit the goal. So I said, right here now, we're going to set a goal. His wife is 37. They've been married, they've been together 5 years. Okay, and now her goal is now, they set different goals for themselves, but they never set a husband and wife goal together. We sat there today and I said, I want by Monday at high noon, I want 4 or 5 goals as a husband and wife team together. What is your goal in life? She wants to have babies. It's nothing unusual, 37 at that time clock's clicking. And I said, okay, I got a good goal for you. And she kept talking. So here's one of their goals, Mr. Julian. You can hold them to the feet to the fire. I said, why don't you make it? He don't like to cook. She can't cook. What else was it? He didn't like to clean the house. I said, okay, first goal, and when they have babies, because his brother's broke, his uncle's broke, everybody around him is broke, no goals. And he said, Al Thomas, that's what stopped it. I said, well, here's the goal. Why don't you make a goal to have a housekeeper and a cook? And my kids had nannies when they came up. So why don't you get a nanny for the baby? Her eyes start dilating. Oh my God. She almost ripped my arm out of my socket. Oh, that's perfect. Her eyes start welling up with tears. So one of their goals is to get a housekeeper and a nanny and a cook. So now they have something to really shoot for. So 2021, their goal is, before she get pregnant, is put enough money away residually to make that happen. See, so you got to understand, when you talk about goals, folks, I don't take this goals. Why? Give me why. I want depth. Why? Why? What do you need the money for? Just to say make money, and that's you never hit it, because there's no substance behind the real reality of what the goal is for. Now, when I went depth and I gave them those, they're like, okay, we got it now. We're in. We got it. We got it. We got it. So Monday, they're going to get with Mr. Lewis, and they're going to text me their 4 goals they have as husband and wife. She said, we've never done that before. I go, you guys want to stay together? I know you guys love each other, so make a goal for the family, a family goal together. I gave them a little idea of some things they could do. And then they left out there hugging and kissing and hugging. Probably went back to their room. But anyway, they were just so excited because I gave them an in-depth goal. Not just a goal, but why? What is your why? And they say your why must make you what? Cry. So now they both have a reason, because before she had something, he had something, but not together as a team. Now they have something as a team to work toward. So now he's going to cut out, he's going to continue building, he's going to cut down his property management, keep building his real estate, and he's going to do more, he's going to do ACN like never before, Mr. Chris King. So with that said, that's a goal. That's a goal. That's a goal. Not just give me a money goal, but why? What do you need the money for? What do you need the money for, Ms. Sanders? What do you need the money for? Sensational, Mr. Freddie Sherman. What do you need the money for, Eileen? What do you need? Why? Get in depth. Get in depth. And I'm telling you, your people will stick with you so fast. They will stick with you. And then work toward that goal. Does everybody get that? Does everybody understand that? Nod at me. Say yeah. Say yeah. Give me a comment. Are y'all understanding? Just don't get a goal. Get why. Why? I want to buy a bigger house. Okay, why? I'm trying to increase my family size. Okay, that's a good goal. Then how many people you want to have on the roof? I mean, get in depth. Get in depth. Mr. Jordan say, get in depth. Get in depth. So now we have something to work towards. Now I guarantee you, he will not fall off like he did before. Why? He has a solid goal. A solid what? Goal. Now, does everybody understand that? So before I left, he gave me, he was so impressed with the Lambo. He said, let me take you around the block. So he took me around the block in the Lambo, and everybody's ooh, ah, ah. He said, I don't get a lot of people looking at me in this Lambo here in Vegas because they're diamond. I don't want to tell them that, but they're pretty plentiful around here because we are in Vegas. But the beautiful thing is now he's going to get started. He's got a goal. His wife's on board with him. She was on board before, but they had no idea why they were doing ACN and what to do ACN for. He said, I got all my real estate, this bill covered, that bill covered. Now this is something I can really sink my teeth into. Does that make sense to everybody? So make sure you just don't get the plastic reason, but get into depth of why. Okay? Is everybody okay with that? All right, that alone right there was worth it tonight. But now, I want to go into something that's pretty doggone impressive. And I want you guys to hold on to your seats, and I want you to sit back, and I want everybody's eyes on this, what I'm going to play. I don't want you looking like you're looking at the video and you're listening, watching TV. I don't want you looking at me like you're watching this and you got the TV right behind us. Come on, don't play that game to yourself. This is leadership. Now, how you going to grow if you don't learn? Now, tonight, I want to show something tonight that I want you to see. I want you to really see this and get it. And I want you not just to be listening, but also taking notes as you are watching it, as if you are in a master class for future millionaires. This is a master class for future millionaires. You're sitting in the auditorium, not at a university, but you're sitting in an auditorium. And I'm teaching a class on millionaireship tonight. And I want you to pay very close attention. And I want you to go get your journals, get your notepads, get your pens, get your eyebrow pencils out, whatever you got to get out. And I want you to take some notes, because I am going to have a quiz at the end of this, okay? Is everybody with me? This is leadership. This ain't for brand new people. This ain't for the faint of heart. This is for the people who are going to exceed abundantly and above beyond the expectation, Lord have mercy, in 2021. But you got to be ready. All right. Now, is everybody ready? Everybody ready? You need me? Okay. I want to talk, we talk about habits. We talked about in my dear friends, Money, Beach Money. Oh, by the way, I got the books, Mr. Bree Clemens. I'll get them autographed by Jordan Allen in a week or so. All right. We talked about GoPro. And every chapter in GoPro is about developing your skills. Everybody got me? Skills. What are skills? Skills and habits. See, I have good habits. The reason why because I have good habits. The habits of getting up in the morning early, habits take habits. So I want to go into something. I want you to see a person who went from zero, homeless, to a billionaire. Okay. Now it's called habits. Habits. So write down the word habits. I'm going to talk about the billionaire success habits for you to copy. Now, on your screen, you're going to see this man. His name is John P. DeJoyan. Now, he did this. He went from homeless, listen to me, homeless to billionaire. Tonight, I'm going to play 32 minutes of this, and I want you to listen intensely. If he can go from homeless to a billionaire, what in the blankety blank of the blankety blank in the blankety blank is stopping you becoming an RVP? If you think, now here you go, listen closely, take notes. This is leadership. This is not the 9 o'clock morning meeting where no. This is for only leaders. Ready? Here we go. Press play, sir.
Not just more fair for me and less fair for you, or vice versa. Let's do something where we both benefit. We go on as friends. Big lesson to be learned.
I think you gotta have a dream.
The School of Greatness.
Really?
Yeah.
Please welcome Lewis Howes.
Welcome back, everyone, to the School of Greatness podcast. Very excited about our guest, John Paul DeJoria, is in the house. Sir, thank you for being here. We're neighbors.
Yes, we are. My pleasure. And I happen to be here in LA for a couple of days, so I come over and do your interview. It's wonderful.
Exciting, exciting. You've got a fascinating story. The more I'm doing research on you, you have an incredible story. You actually grew up here in LA, Echo Park, I think
That's
it was,
correct.
nearby.
Yep.
And you were actually in foster care for a little bit, is that right?
Yep, in East LA for a little bit. That's correct, for several years.
Several years. How many years in foster care?
Actually, 4.5 years. Yeah, my mom was very, very ill, and we were very young, my brother and I. So from about 5 years old to 9.5 years old in foster care. We'd see our mom on the weekends, but during the week, it wasn't like it is today. She had to work to support us, and there was no one to take care of us.
Really?
So Monday through Friday, we were in foster care, and then on the weekends, we were with our mom.
Do you think being in foster care gave you the tools to be a successful entrepreneur?
I don't think being in foster care gave me the tools to be an entrepreneur, a successful one. I think what it gave me was an understanding about other people's lives and understanding where they're coming from. Especially the other kids who were in foster care with us didn't really have a loving mom like we did.
They didn't get to see her on the weekends.
No, they couldn't see her on the weekends either. And a lot of them, when they got out of foster care, had no place to go. They stopped, supporting them when they turned 18 or graduated from high school. They had no place to go. So I learned to be very empathetic about others on this planet that need that helping hand. And I think that was very beneficial when I finally made it financially to be able to look at the right things to invest money into to help others out, whether it's the homeless or whether it's job programs in LA. In Texas, we overcame a homeless problem there that the world's going to learn from.
Wow.
We got a piece of land. We all contribute. This is we the people, not the city, okay? We all contributed. We built 240 little houses, all for homeless people. Now, who gets a priority going in? If you're without a shelter for a year or disabled, you're our first priority coming in. You have a home. We have organic gardens there. We have metal shop, wood shop, craft shop, theater. We have everything you could ever imagine there, right? So they could work. They could make money while they're there and have a safe place of life to clean their lives up. It's worked out so well that many of our volunteers there are very successful financial people, but moved there for 1 year in a trailer on our properties, little houses, to let their kids grow up showing how to help out one another. It's amazing. So we have another 400 homes next door. Someone donated the land, and we're going to build another 400 homes there.
Wow.
So here we not only get the homeless off the streets, but get them back into civilization. They get jobs on their own. We tutor them. We take care of them. We give them dignity. Well, I know Rocket, my phone company, Wi-Fi'd the whole village called Community First. It's mobile loaves and fishes, Community First in Austin, Texas. We Wi-Fi'd it all and gave everybody a telephone.
Wow.
So that they could call anywhere in the world free and have free communications. It's helping people, helping other people out. So going back to it, I've learned so much in foster care about those that are really in need. And boy, if I ever made it, I'm going to help out. But even if I didn't make it, like in my early 20s, when, call it my biker days, okay?
Sure.
I would still, at Christmas time and at Thanksgiving, go up to Griffith Park. And I didn't have any money, but I volunteered to stand in line and feed the homeless or anybody who wanted to be fed. It's called feed-ins there in the 1960s.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
When you were 20? Or in your
Oh, yeah,
20s?
my early 20 to 25 years old. It was there in the Levins, and we had feed-ins.
And did I read that you lived in a old Rolls Royce for a little bit?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's funny, when I started John Paul Mitchell Systems, everything was set up, money was coming in, not a dime ever came in. And I wasn't really good in my relationship, so I was departing with my wife. So I left her the newer car, and we had a 21-year-old Rolls Royce, right? It was an old one, but still it was an old funky Rolls, right? It would break down occasionally. So I went down the hill in the older cars, and it turned out the money never came in. And I left all the money with her to take care of her and my daughter for many, many months. I had a few $100 in my pocket. That's a true story.
Wow.
And yeah, so I lived in my car. It was a Rolls, but it still had windows that leaked. It was rainy season. So I would learn how to have a towel next to me. When you sleep, by the way, in the front seat, which is more room, you have more leg room in front, even in the Rolls, you put your head where the steering wheel is, because the rest of your body's bigger and it flips over. And then have a rag right next to you. You can just reach down and take the water off the window on the inside. You know, it was fun. It was different. You know, I would have rather had a place to stay in, but for a few weeks I did it.
Before you launched John Paul Mitchell, you weren't really making a lot of money. You weren't. Were you making money?
No, I was
somewhere
doing
else?
well, but not making a lot of money. No, I was doing well. I had my own consulting business for a few years to a couple different companies. But if you really needed me and were fully staffed, I taught you everything you needed within 3 months. And you didn't need me anymore. So that wasn't good. But if you did not have a whole staff, I worked for you for a whole year as a vice president of sales or marketing to help you expand your business out. And then a lot of those companies, I wasn't paid for 2-3 weeks in the rears. So that's when I said, let's start something with my buddy Paul Mitchell and raise the money. We raised the money, but the guy pulled out the last minute. We never received a dime. But it shows you that America still works. And I'd like to share this with your audience.
Yeah.
They say, well, can you do today, JP, what you did 40 years ago in 1980 when you started this company? Even easier. Why didn't we get the money? Why would it be easier today? In 1980, in 81, I'll go over 2 years, inflation was 12.5% in the United States.
Wow.
Unreal, okay? Unemployment was 10.5%. We waited in line to get gasoline. We waited in line for gasoline forever, just to get as much as you can. And our hostages were not only still in Iran and hadn't been released yet in the early part of 1980, but if you wanted a loan, everybody, in 1980, interest rates, prime rate was 17%. Most loans were 25 or 30% if you could qualify for it. And if we wanted business cards or something made, we had to go to a print shop to set the type. Today, you can do all this on a computer. We wanted to call somebody, we had to get an international card, a calling card to bill to, even for the United States. It was very, very, and our whole office was an answering machine because that's all we could afford in a friend's house. So today, it'd be a lot easier. You have all these ways to communicate with people, and America still works. And if there's any interest out there, It's extremely low compared to where we did it, but no one will give us a loan.
Right.
Even at 17, we would have paid 30% for a loan. No one gave us anything.
Why wouldn't they give it to you?
Well, because we had no assets, we were out of jobs. We were starting a new company with no history behind it and no money in the bank.
And no cash coming in.
Oh, none, zero. Yeah, so we just we did it from the bootstraps up and just learned a whole lot. So it was an education.
How did you sell the first product?
Door to door. I would put it in my car and drive down Ventura Boulevard in Studio City, all the way up to Christina, stopping at beauty salons. We picked beauty salons because, one, I was in the industry prior with other companies, so I knew the industry. My partner was a hairdresser and a darn good and one of the best in the world, innovator. So that was the industry we were going for, and we were going to always stay in that industry. So we knew the industry, so we put our 3 different types of products in the car, drove salon to salon selling them. And then if they say, well, yeah, we'll give it a try. Our first orders the first week were anywhere from $27. I think the top one was maybe $135, something like that, right? And they'd write a check, but they would leave the top blank. I would deliver the orders on the spot. And after I got a dozen, which took me a week to get, we were an unknown, right?
Sure.
Again, anywhere from a $27 order, if you can imagine, to $135, man. I think it was the max order. And that's when I did this because I wanted distribution. So I went to the biggest beauty supply house called Paris Ace in Los Angeles in 1980, biggest there was. And I presented to Jim Hendrietta, who was the president at the time, at that time I think we had 3.5 working on the 4th product, okay? I said, here it is, it's wonderful, it's Paul Mitchell, and I've been with this company, and Paul's a great hairstylist. He looked me right in the eye, said, your presentation's great, you're so darn positive, JP. He says, but I'm Paris Ace Beauty Supply. We have all the big lines. Why would I want to spend time? You have no advertising, no promotion, no nothing out there trying to establish your brand. It makes no sense. I paused. I looked him in the eye. I said, I have a good reason. He said, well, what is it? I pulled out of my pocket 12 checks, put them all in front of him. I said, there's your first 12 orders. If you'll order, remember, we're really hard up, right? If you'll order only $2,000, we'll give you all of LA and Orange County. And I will work with you and your salespeople till it's gone. He looked at the 12 orders with blank. I said, it's your first 12 customers. They're yours. He laughed and sat up and said, okay, we'll give you a shot, but you better be here all the time. I said, sure. There's one more thing I want to ask you. And this is something good for your audience to know. If you have no money, and you can't wait 45 days to have your bills paid, how in the world do you exist? You got to turn something over. Knowing this in advance, I worked into my profit margins an extra 5%. It was for the next thing. I said, Jim, I appreciate the opportunity. I'll be here and I'll help your people become really good consultants because Paul Mitchell products are so good. That's why we picked the hair industry. A hairdresser knows a damn good product when they know one and how it works on the hair. Well, we knew with no advertising, if they fell in love with it, they would use it in the salons and recommend it for home use in between visits because they're the ones that really knew about hair. Not the drugstore, not the supermarket, not the advertisers. So we knew we had that there. Well, now it was money. How are we able to pay our bills? We got bills due in 2 weeks here, and we have no money. I built it in. So I said, I'd like to ask from you in Paris Ace Beauty Supply, when I deliver the products, could I please have the check? He laughed. In fact, he said this at our 25th year anniversary. We brought him in. He said he laughed his head off and looked me in the eye and said, JP, we're Paris Ace Beauty Supply. We don't pay our bills for 45 days. I'm sorry, no, you're gonna have to wait. We're giving you a break to start with. I said, how about if I give you an extra 5% to pay the bill? And I'm gonna be here every day. He goes, okay, we'll do it for you to get you going, JP. And as he told the story, he says, within 5 minutes, my warehouse man called me on the phone and said, there's some guy back here loading products out of an old car. Looks like a good one. He wants a check for $2,000. He says, I laughed my head off, wrote the check, went back and handed it to him. And that's how we got Paris Ace Beauty Supply going.
Wow, that's amazing. You really created this perception that you had all these orders already coming in from the door-to-door sales.
Oh, yeah, just here, I created them for you. And I'll be with your salespeople creating more.
Wow. It's amazing. Do you think you would have got the deal if you didn't have those orders?
Nope. No, he liked me, but it wasn't about it. There was no advertising, no for me. Why? He was right. Why? Why do it?
Was that a strategy you had in mind where you said, I'm going to go here, but let me first go door to door and get some orders? Or did you get the orders and say, okay, let me take this now to a bigger distributor?
It was along the way. As I would remember, everything was from the back of our pocket. Well, no, don't put the name in. What if I could go to a distributor with these?
Right. You talk a lot about we should be in the reorder business.
Yes, big time. I say that to every person, whether you have a service or whether you have a physical product. Don't go into selling business. Most people do. Their service, here's why it's great, we want you to buy it, okay? Here's my physical product, why it's great, I want to buy it. Here is me applying for, it goes to applying for a job with a company, okay? Hey, here, I'm going to do great in your sales, great in your marketing, great in your engineering. I'm going to do great, right? You're selling yourself the existing service. However, that is a one-time sale. If in your mind it is, I'm not going to the selling business. I'm going into the reorder business, whether it's my product, my service, or myself to an individual I want to work for them. It's here's how it's going to affect me and you, but long term. So all the products were developed to be so damn good and so easy to use that people want to reorder them. If it was a service, and even a one-time service, they'll want to reuse it if it isn't, or tell other people about it because it was so good.
Yeah.
If a human being is applying for a job, look at telling that other person, not just what you offer now, but what you could offer them for the future.
Right.
Sell the reorder, not just the order.
How does that apply to intimate relationships, the reorder business?
Oh boy, that's a big yes. I've had my ups and downs in life. Oh my goodness, in business versus personal relationship. If all I could say is good luck. And the reason it's good luck is we all get infatuated with people, no matter what our preferences in life. We get infatuated, but sometimes it changes over a period of time. So the best suggestion I could ever give you is take a piece of paper and write down 1 to 10 things you would like in your ideal mate, no matter who it may be or what it may be, or your ideal mate, and just put it in your pocket. If you run across a person that has all those, that's probably a good start. It doesn't mean all 10 are correct. You could change those along the way and add to it. I think the main thing people should look at in relationships is, how do you feel about the individual's being, their entity, not just about their appearance? And I know that because at a very young age, my era, who's the prettiest girl? Or who's even a girl in my era, right? My girl, hey, she's a girl, she likes me. I'm a kid in school. I kissed a girl at 14 years old, Things are different, but it still is, if you look at someone's beingness, their heart.
Their beingness.
Their beingness, in other words, them, the energy that comes out of them. What do they talk about? What do they say? How do you feel about their company, not just looking at them or what they have either physically or monetarily or connection-wise? How does that beingness feel? Because it's the beingness, no matter how we change physically, that's going to be around and hopefully for all of us improve as time goes on.
Right. What was a big lesson your mom taught you when you were in foster care and then out of foster care?
Great. 6 years old, my brother and I in foster care. One, I'll give you 2 examples. One is on giving, okay? We had nothing. Deadbeat dad, gone at 2 years old, no money, and my mom had to work. So 6 years old, downtown LA, we had streetcars in those days. This is the 1940s, 51, right? Late 40s, early 50s. Streetcars. We would take the little streetcar from Echo Park for a nickel to downtown LA. Wow. It's only a few miles, right? And at Christmas time, we would go to the Bullocks, the Broadway, all these grade make company department stores that were in downtown LA. And the windows were full of puppets and little trains going around in circles. Oh, how wonderful. We thought we were the coolest kids to see this. We didn't know. We thought, God, this is great. We're lucky. Santa Claus, yay! And that one year, my mom gave my brother and I a dime and said, boys, with your little fingers, hold these each, and the 2 of you take this dime together and put in that bucket over there with the man ringing the bell. And we did. Now, this is it'll be 51. 51. We went to mom, and my brother and I almost said at the same time, why are we giving these people a dime? In those days, it was 2 large soda pops or 3 candy bars for a dime. And mom said, boys, that's the Salvation Army. There are people that have no food or no place to live. They help them out. Remember this in life. We can only afford a dime. That's all we can afford this year, but we're giving something. In your lives, boy, remember, there's always someone that's worse off than you are. I had one of the most positive moms in the world. Wow. And then even while we're in foster care, growing up, coming home on the weekends, never forget this one weekend. We each had a little piece, maybe the size of an ounce, of filet mignon steak. My mom went out and bought 3 ounces, a very small piece. That's all she could afford, but a filet mignon, right? For the boys on the weekend. And she cooked it, cut it in 3s. We had a little piece. For us, it was maybe 3 bites. We were little kids. And she said, boys, that's filet mignon. That's what the rich people eat. Wow. We eat just like the rich people. Oh, Mom, how cool.
Wow.
So we had the greatest, she was full of love, just full of love.
How did you learn? Did that teach you more about the mindset of creating abundance financially in your life? Or when did you really learn about financial abundance and attracting wealth?
I think when I first realized that was at 7 years old, when I had on the back of a comic book, a thing you tear out, you fill it out, send it in, and they send you 4 samples of Christmas cards. And you go around and try and sell and collect half the money. You send half the money with the order. When the order comes in to you and you deliver it, you get the other half of the money. Maybe I made $20 at 7 years old, and it was working is really cool. So that at that 7, 8, 9 years old, I did that. Then come 11 years old is when I had a job, and I haven't stopped. I've had a job since I was 11 years old. In those days, it was the LA Examiner was the #1 newspaper in LA. My brother and I would get up at 4 in the morning, drive to Glendale on our bicycles, fold newspapers, deliver them, go back home, get dressed, and go to school. And with the LA Examiner, they had a big Sunday papers all week long, and we made about $32 a month. And we gave it all to our mom, other than maybe $1 we'd spend on ourselves, to live a little better. And now, we're 11, 12, and I did that until I wasn't doing it anymore. Then I did everything from sweeping floors at Thurston Laboratories to brushing blankets at Stewart's Cleaners and all those things, just to make money for the joy. It was for the joy of working. I had a job and made money. There was nothing in my mind at that time about creating any wealth. It was, I'm lucky, I had a job, I get to help mom out here. It was wonderful. But there came across one of the first real lessons of success and what success really means I'd like to share with you and your audience.
Yes, please.
I'm working at Stewart's Cleaners. I come there one day after John Marshall High School. That's what was my job after high school. I swept the floors, I brushed the blankets, I put the little drapes on the hangers and all that good stuff. So I came there, and Stewart, who was tight, this guy was so tight he squeaked when he walks, really a tight one. He had to pay me $1.25 an hour because it was required for young people. You could not pay him less than that, okay? Or he'd pay me 50 cents an hour. So I go
This
there
is
one
in
day.
the late 50s now?
No, this is now going into the late 50s. Yeah, it would be the late 50s, early 60s, late 50s. Anyways, Stewart said to me, I want to talk to you, Johnny. That's what they called me in those days. I said, okay. And I said, oh my God, what did I do wrong? He says, last night I was working late. And that little mezzanine where we have the cot upstairs, I wanted to rest a bit. So I went up there, took my watch off, put on the little table, and it dropped on the floor. Now this is a cot where those old spring cots that are open on the bottom, a little mattress on top. He says, I reached down to get it, and I noticed under the cot, there wasn't any dust. He said, I just moved it. So he used to move this thing, and the filing cabinets behind, there was no dust. He says, you move everything when you clean it, as if I'm washing you all the time. I said, Stuart, I like my job. My mom growing up had my brother and I clean the house. We would do dishes, everything. We were part of it. You hired me for a job. I'm going to do it whether you're looking or not. He says, I've never, ever had anyone work for me that does that well. I'm going to give you a raise. You're now making $1.50 an hour. Now, where I went to high school, for those kids that even were lucky enough to have a job, I probably was the highest paid kid at the time.
Sure.
But it showed me this. What is success? Success is not how much money or how much power you have. Success is how well do you do what you do when no one else is looking, and keep on doing it. Successful people do all the things unsuccessful people don't want to do. And my 2 biggest suggestions to people that are entrepreneurs, working for someone or working for yourself as an entrepreneur, is 2 things. 1, be prepared for a lot of rejection. You're going to get it. Selling encyclopedias, the average lifespan is 3 days. It's door-to-door, commission only, all work, no leads.
And everyone says no.
Oh, no, they say no. Oh, God. But they told me, and I believed them, that when you do it, if you knock on 50 or 100 doors and they slam it in your face, it's the guys that have that energetic attitude to keep on going. And don't let it get you. Knock on door number 100 just as enthusiastic as door number 1, and you'll succeed. And he was right. I don't know if it was 100 doors, 150 doors. Nobody would let me in. Finally, they let me in. Did I make the first sale? No. But I eventually, after a week, made a sale. And I believed what they said. So one of the great things is, if you're ready for rejection, whether it's your parents, your friends that say you don't have enough money, you don't look like this, you're not that, no one's going to like you, we hate your idea, no matter what it is, you're going to get rejection. When people say no, 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 you know you're going to get it. Be prepared for rejection. If you're prepared, it's not going to hurt you as much. The second thing we already covered, go into the reorder business. Have the quality of your product or service so darn good, people are going to reorder, use it again.
Yeah. Why do you think now, especially, so many people are afraid of rejection? I feel like people don't want to launch something, their business idea, their book, a podcast, whatever it is, because they're so afraid of what might happen wrong.
Why is
that?
An unbelievably perfect question. What world are we looking in today? Okay? An example, politically, No disrespect. So you know where I stand politically.
Yeah.
I am an independent. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I actually give to both parties, but only individuals that I like or think are going to do something. So I'm not in the middle, right? But what do I see around me? This is not America. If you're, for example, God forbid, someone that puts up a Trump sign, not that I agree with them, okay, but someone puts up a stop sign, it's, oh, you're a racist.
Right.
Oh my God, you don't believe in freedom and you don't believe in ecology. Well, no, wait, hold on. You don't have to say that to people. They may be wrong, you may believe differently, or vice versa. You know, oh no, we should be socialistic, everybody should have everything free. It's like, well, wait a minute, why are you segregating? America is we the people of the United States of America. I don't care if you're to the left, to the right, express your opinion and don't put somebody down for their opinion. But whether someone is right or somebody is wrong, we've got to stick together. We can't have a split nation. And I think if we go forth with love and realize that it's going to be good in everything we do.
Sure, yeah. Is that why you think people are afraid to say something, to launch a business, to create something in the world because they're going to get so much hate or backlash or rejection?
That is correct.
Because they're just afraid of the world.
A lot of people are afraid because they look at both sides, how everyone is putting everybody down. As this one is saying, if you vote for them, you're going to start losing jobs, the economy is going down. Now, whether that's right or wrong, who knows, right? The other side, if you vote for this guy again, whatever, you know, look at all the misery that's going to happen, wars, everyone hates us. I mean, it's one against the other.
Yeah.
Well, of course you'd be afraid. And then we're through a time in our lives where a lot of people aren't working. A lot of people are saying a lot of things about other people. One of the great rules of life, and this guy wrote this great book, was it the 4 and 5 Agreements?
The 4 Agreements.
Four Agreements. And then he wrote called 5 Agreements. One of them in there is the most important agreement of it all. And it is this: do not spread gossip or put anybody down. You start spreading the wrong information to people, and all of a sudden you find out you were wrong. They told someone else, they told somebody else. You're destroyed. Now you find, oh no, it wasn't true. One of them is, don't be around people that gossip. Stay away from that. If there's bad news, don't give it out. Look at the higher side, the positive side, because you tell one person, and if they're low on the tone scale, they're going to tell another. And if someone's really down, they're low or angry or upset, they're going to say, oh yeah, this is the truth, and tell others to kind of agree with how they're down, how everyone should be down, because look how bad things are. Opposed to, no, things aren't that bad. That's why I'd love to share the story with you and your podcast. You let people see the truth. By people knowing I started Paul Mitchell with $700. My partner threw in $350. My mom put in some money, not even knowing that's what she was doing, and I put a little bit. America still works. It's we the people. All this negativity, don't pay attention to it. Look at the higher side. Yes, there's things wrong. There have been things wrong with our lives for millenniums. My God, maybe for lifetimes, okay? But each time we're getting better. Each time. Whether you like that president or not that's in there, there's something good you could find out that's been done to please all of us.
Sure.
Look at the upper side. Look at the past people. There's something good that's being done. And when you move forward, if you move forward with a positive attitude, no matter who becomes president, you help our country become better instead of stalling and saying, well, I'm not going to do anything because I don't like that president.
Sure.
It's we the people of the United States of America, and it's we the people on business. Don't be afraid. Put your message out there. Put it out there. It's okay. So many people are afraid to put their message out because, well, that might be too much this way, too much that way. Ooh, people may consider that instead of solar energy, it's a new form of energy. I've been only talking about solar energy, otherwise I'm going to be big in trouble, you know?
Right.
Be free. God wants you to be free. He created you in his image. He wants you to be free to speak your word. If someone doesn't agree, that's their problem. But don't put anybody down for saying their word or in their products or their and don't be afraid to start something. People, we started Paul Mitchell when it was the worst scenario ever with no money. We weren't afraid. We believed in ourselves. With all the doors closed, we kept on going forward. When the going's tough, the tough get going.
That's true, yeah. It seems like people are more afraid of the fear of rejection than actually being rejected. It's like they've never even been rejected, but they're just afraid that it might happen in the future. How does someone learn to overcome the fear of potentially being rejected?
Great question, okay? First of all, what is fear? Fear is the unknown. It's the only reason people are afraid. They're afraid because they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what this person's going to do. They're afraid. They don't know the outcome. So if you're fearful, find the problem or find the unknown. Even in a problem, there's an unknown. When the unknown is exposed, there's no longer a problem. Find the unknown and go forward. And don't create things because they don't exist.
Were you ever afraid of rejection personally, or since you were just doing door-to-door for so long and tried so many different things that you would experience so much rejection that you embraced it? Is that how you overcame the fear of it?
I can tell you the one that is the funniest of them all. I'm 11 years old. I'm in Atwater, California, walking up Boise Street, I think it was, with my friend Michael Vucic, who sold papers with me. And we came up with the greatest idea. Let's make a song. We'll go together with our newspaper in hand. We'll go door to door. We'll split the orders. We got $1 for every new order, by the way. That was a lot of money when we were kids, right? We'll split it, and together we'll present it, and we came up with a song. And the song was, good evening, we're the Examiner boys. If you'll subscribe to the Examiner, we'll sing a song for you, ooh, like that, right? So Michael and I never did this before. We went to our first door, knocked, had our papers. The minute he opened doors, we started singing. The minute we were done, we looked at each other and just ran away. This guy thought we were nuts. We just ran away. That was the only time after that we could do anything. And yes, you get a lot of rejection, but when I actually got out there and door-to-door sales cycling encyclopedias, it struck it with me. You must knock on all the doors, overcome that rejection. I would say I learned more about overcoming rejection for the 4 years. I sold encyclopedias door-to-door commission only than one could ever imagine. Yep, 4 years. Wow. Average guy lasts 3 years. So yeah, and when I got out of the Navy in 64 to 65, 66, 67, 3 years. 3 years I sold books.
After the Navy.
Yeah, after the Navy. Yeah.
What was a big lesson you learned while being in the Navy?
Greatest lesson I learned is when I was in Washington, D.C. a couple of years ago and I received the Lone Sailor Award. I gave the lesson out. Being in the Navy, I was a normal, everyday human being, okay? And I became an officer many years after I got out of the Navy and an admiral, but that's a whole different story. But being in the United States Navy as an enlisted man, what I learned was I graduated from high school. I was a common person. How a bunch of common people could get together and be trained properly, but as a team, they achieve extraordinary results. Boy, did I learn that lesson, meaning that you can't do it alone. I'm a common person. But let's get us ordinary people together, be taught properly, and as a team, we achieve extraordinary results. That I learned out of the Navy. And I thought it was a great thing to do. And of course, how to really be neat with my clothes. I mean, really neat and package them. And how to listen to people when you may not agree with them. But there you have no choice. When they say do something, you just do it. Okay, the command. But I learned how to do that easily. So it was an easy segue for me to go along with other people I didn't agree with, but I would listen to them. Yeah. And I learned the famous word selling encyclopedias. When someone said no, or even not selling, somebody had we were talking about something, and someone has a different viewpoint than mine. I learned the magical words. I could appreciate that, however. So you could tell me that, oh, this is white. I say, well, no, it's black. We're not going to go back and forth. I'm going to say, I can appreciate that. I can say, however, from my viewpoint, with my lens, it turns out to be black, but we all see things a little differently. Sure. And here's why through my lens it's doing it. I'm agreeing with you. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Sure.
It's like even in selling. Would you like this? No, sorry, we have too many lines. Well, I could appreciate that. I really can. However, if you would just take half of this order, I will not only guarantee it'll be one of the greatest things you'll ever have, but within 1 month, anything you haven't sold out the door or used, we'll take back and give you your money back. Now, that's fair enough, isn't it? No, I'm sorry, no. Why should I push your line? You're an unknown line and I have all these other lines, the big ones. I could appreciate that. However, I know you're going to succeed with this. There's no way you can lose money. I'll come back, hold a class with you. I would do that 3 times. And in most cases, by the 3rd time, they at least bought 1 or 2 bottles from me. Wow. Sometimes they bought nothing from me, okay? Like for a whole week, I made 12 sales. And I think I'm pretty good at presenting something. It was tough, but I stuck with it. And then I made more and more as time went on.
I'm curious about what you learned in the Navy and how you applied it to business from this teamwork mentality. Was there something you learned in the Navy that actually you saw within the first 5 years of Paul Mitchell that you were able to apply, that accelerated the growth?
Oh, definitely. Is give normal people that are ordinary people an opportunity to achieve on their own. JP, I only knew so much. So to go to the next step, I needed a Lou Jacobellis, I need a Jim, I need Henrietta. I need more people to know what the heck they're doing, okay, because I don't. But I know if we get together as a team, we'll be able to succeed. And that's where I learned, and it was the hardest lesson to learn because I wanted to do everything, be in charge of this and that and that. In the late 80s, I couldn't do that anymore. So getting into 1989, 1990, it was let's bring the others in and work together as a team. Well, along the way, I was lucky. Some really brilliant people that had already done something great already got involved with us. But that's where I learned it. You know, you can't do it all. You need a team to work with.
When did you realize that the company started to really take off? When was that year that it doubled, it quadrupled?
We started in 80, right? Throughout 80, we barely made it. Throughout 81, we barely made it. After we were in business 2 years, the big point of, thank you, God. The big point, right, was my partner and I, he came over with his girlfriend from Hawaii. We were in LA together, and we were able to pay our bills on time. Not pay them off, but pay them on time and have $4,000 left over, $2,000 each. We said, my God, we made it. We are paying our bills on time and we have extra money. Yay, we made it. Then we knew, great, we made it, right? For us, that was huge because it was really week to week that we even lived. If you went to college, I think, and got a big degree, they said, get out, don't even start that business, just get out. Because every week, there's no way the hell you're going to make it, guys. But that was the aha moment. It wasn't maybe in anyone else's eyes, but in our eyes, it was gigantic. What a win. We paid our bills on time. On time.
And when was the moment or the year that you realized?
All right, there you have it. There you have it. There you have it. I want to review and see what you guys got blessed out of this part. Did you understand who he started J. Paul Mitchell, one of the investors in that, and he also went on with Patron. He's a billionaire, 7 homes throughout the world. One is I went by when I was in Hawaii back in March. But anyway, think about it. He slept in his Rolls Royce, slept in his car, gave his ex everything, walked away. He said, America still works. Folks, he's talking about the 1980s. Back then, I remember buying houses and the interest rate on my real estate was 18%. We thought that was a heck of a deal. I can relate to a lot of stuff he talked about. You know, wait in line for gasolines. Look at that. It's so easy, he said today. It's so easy. But he was smart enough and ingenious enough to put an extra 5% on those checks so he can get some cash. Number one, he said, how creative was he? Was he very creative? Kind of like you and I in ACN. Don't we have to have a creative conversation, especially as we pivot since March? Some of us are still stuck in our old ways, still. He transferred his whole lifestyle, Mr. Lewis. Did he think outside the box? Yes. He had nothing to rely on but his conversation and a grip to hustle. All ACN is a legal hustle, folks. He always looked for the resale order. Oh my God, do we have a resale in our business? Yes. It's called what? Residual income. Wow. He said he was looking for the reorder. Not the one-time sale, but the reorder. We don't have to worry about that in our business. The reorder is residual income. He said, sell the reorder business. Next, he said, he says, whatever you put in is what you get out. And he said something that was very profound when he got from his mother was giving. You get that word giving? What did Mr. White Williams talk about on Wednesday about giving? How many times have you heard me talk about giving? And some of us are so stuck on not giving, just like this holiday weekend. How many people have relatives or friends come by your house to eat your food and want a plate to go, but didn't bring nothing to give? People are just a mess. He says, you got to be able to give. Remember the story he told about Christmas? He had a dime, his brother had a dime, and they gave it to the Salvation Army. That's all they had in the Bible. The widow woman gave all she had. Wow. Is there always someone out there worse off than you are? Man, he is so, did you guys catch this? From, being an orphanage, and he still gave. He still gave, Mr. Daryl Ranson, and we wonder why he was blessed. He said he had a job since he was 11 years old, and he didn't know no better. It was the joy of what? Working. So let's go back. What am I saying? A strong work ethic. Kids today, people today, and I know it's not you guys because this is leadership. You got to have a strong work ethic. You got to have it. You got to have it. I've always said Al Thomas, not the sharpest, the handsome, none of that stuff. But I want flat out what? Work you. This work ethic. Let me tell you something. How many of y'all been to a funeral before? Some of y'all been to funerals before? Okay. Have you ever been to a funeral when they pull out and the pastor or somebody standing up there at the podium said, well, they passed away because they worked so hard, they died from work. Ever heard that one before? No. Here's what you hear. They died from stress. They died from stress. They wasn't dying from overwork. You can't do it. Overstress, yes. You can't do it. And I encourage every one of you to work a little harder. He said he had strong work ethics. Wow. How well are you with your work ethics? He went to door. They told him 100 to 150 doors. He didn't know no better. He didn't know no better. After week, he said, I made my first sale. I got rejected. It took him 1 week to get a customer. He got rejected every day. Think about it. If we told you to go talk to 150 people, 100 people, y'all would quit. He said after a week, he got his first sale. And he got rejected and rejected and rejected. He said, and then he read the book, The 4 Agreements, and stopped gossiping. He says, America still works today. He started Paul Mitchell. How much money did his mother throw in? A few $100s. His partner, 700. He had 300. And they started Paul Mitchell. And now looked at it. Think about it. He started with nothing, came from nothing to build an empire. He said, just put your message out there. And I quote, God would want you to be free. Let me say that one more time. And I quote what he said. God want you to be free. And he also said, when the tough gets going, they get going. And when things get tough, the tough get going. We're not passive. We're not pushovers. We get going. What is fear? He goes, walk through the fear. Find out why you're so fair to talk to people. Like I asked you last week, just put 10 on. Between all the stuff I did, I got 3. But the problem is, why don't you do it every week? He said, you need a team. That's what he learned in the Navy. He needed a team. He learned teamwork made the dream work in the Navy. He learned how to agree with people and disagree with people. I love what he said. You might want to write that down. Hey, I appreciate what you said, Mr. Freddie Sherman. However, have you thought oh man, that was powerful for me. I've listened to this tape today 7 times alone, back to back today, before I made a decision to let you guys hear it. There's so much juice in it. He said he learned from the Navy, believe in people and bring them onto the team to make you successful. He discovered he couldn't do it all by himself. And the more he shared the wealth by opening his hand, by blessing more people, he got blessed more and more from millionaire to billionaire, but he had to give to get. He had to what? There's that word again, give to get. We just celebrated thanks what? Giving. Oh, giving, thanks what? Giving. Phone lines are open. Let's take the next 10 minutes to talk about what you got out of this evening. Because how do you go from homeless to billionaire?
Mr. Thomas?
Yes, sir.
All right, I got some good stuff. As it relates to the business, he got out of the Navy that a bunch of common people get together that are trained properly as a team can achieve extraordinary things. This is exactly what we do in network marketing. It's exactly what we do in ACN. It's a bunch of common people that get together that are trained properly and as a team can achieve extraordinary things. Okay. I also got that the fear is the unknown. And so when you know that fear is the unknown, then you need to identify the unknown so that you can attack it. Okay. Yeah. People, they are afraid of what people will say, and they're afraid that they're going to start getting put down. In a time where a lot of people are saying things about others, do not spread gossip or put others down. Do not be afraid to put out what you're doing. When he was 6, Bullocks and Broadway, he learned about the Salvation Army, like you said. At 7, cards in the back of the comic book, how to flip it and make more money. I remember that stuff in the back of the comic book too. The newspaper company, $32 per month, worked for the joy of making money and success. Stuart Marshall, he cleaned everything when no one was looking, to the point where he lost his watch, reached under, saw the dust, there was no dust, and he got the raise because he was working as if without looking for the recognition. He was doing it for himself. Be prepared for a lot of rejection. You're gonna get it. If you're ready for rejection and be prepared, you can go out there and beat it. have quality of product and service. Now, here's a really important one that I wanted to share with everyone. The reorder, because I want you to think about it differently. The reorder, you're the product. You're the product. I want to say that again. You are the product. Do people want to reorder you? In other words, do they come back to you? Are you looking for the sale, or your IBOs want to come back to you? Do they want to follow you through the fire? And if you're continuing to become the best product or the best version of you, you'll always get to reorder, which means you'll be able to build a large team. Mr. Thomas, that's what I got out of it. I appreciate it. That video was a blessing.
Yes, sir. You go to head to class on those notes. See, that's what I'm talking about. I wonder how many I saw Mr. King taking notes, but I wonder how many other people got 5 and 6 pages of notes to regurgitate what you just. Oh, there you go, Miss Collins. There you go. She's showing her. She got 7. Oh, Miss Williams, thank you. Let me share something with you. Watch this. Because of our history, and here again today is called habits, because of Mr. Lewis's habits. Oh my God. A gentleman, he called me because his habits was so good to have this gentleman call me today. Chris, right?
Kyle Craig.
Kyle. Text me his name, by the way. Had enough because of habits, of good habits from 5 years ago when he signed up for the first time, because of Mr. Lewis's habits. Oh my God. Got him in contact, and he called me because of my habits of who I am year after year, decade after decade, moving forward with results. And the only way moving forward with results is help other people change their pen, helping people. Because of that, now he's getting back in the business because of the habits that were started years ago that got him coming back in the business. Exactly what Paul just talked about, Paul Mitchell just talked about. I mean, that's powerful. See, we're living in that. Go back, Mr. Lewis, say that one more time in the beginning about common people. And I want everybody, if you didn't write this down, take this down.
So he learned in the military that it's a bunch of common people that get together, train properly, and as a team can achieve extraordinary results, which is network. That's what we do in ACN. All of us are common people coming together and that are trained. That part's important, trained properly. He didn't say train, he said trained properly. And as a team can achieve extraordinary results.
You know, the people that are not on here on Saturday will never get the crazy results thereafter, because they rather sit around, watch bombs, eat bomb, whatever they're doing. You know, and look, I can't help them. You can't help them. They gotta want it, and that's what he did. His work ethic was off the charts. He did it because out of the joy of doing things. Not most of I gotta call how many. It was a joy for him. He called it, like the Bible says, all joy. Oh my God. Who else want to share? Thank you, Mr. Lewis. A+, go ahead to class, sir. That was a lot of good notes. I was regurgitating some of my page. I got 8 pages of notes over here. Who else want to talk about what they got out today? Come on.
Tim, Minnesota.
Yes, Tim.
I think God's trying to get a hold of me every single day this week. At least 3 different times I've heard some form of God wants you to be free. The other thing that I wrote, wow, is the part common people coming together and train properly as a team and can achieve great results. Look for the reorder. We don't have to worry about looking for the reorder, but we do have to present ourselves in such a way that people want to continue to be around us. And then the other thing that I got is I can appreciate that, however. That was really powerful.
That was powerful. Yes, sir, that was very powerful. Now look at the reorder. Because of Mr. Lewis, the young man drove up in a Lamborghini, him and his wife, after 5 years of knowing us. And he showed me pictures of us way back when. See, success leaves clues. Now, think about it. How many of y'all how many of y'all guys have recently a guy that drove up in a Lambo and said, let me get started again? See, y'all, you're catching it, but see, you're not putting the time in. You guys are so busy Oh my God, you got to understand. That's why I wanted to, here's a homeless. We all know Paul Mitchell. I still use her products today. Look, see, I got the green tea. Yeah, but see, you got to understand. He came from nothing like you and I. We don't have to chip in $700, $300 and ask your mama for money to start his business. $249 is all it takes. And I was sharing with the group the other day who was I sharing this with? I used to go door to door in my first MLM company getting customers. I would knock on the door. Matter of fact, I might just tell y'all that story if we got time. I would do it. It didn't bother me. I lived in a big old, my house was 8,000. And I would go door knocking from 11 to 6, 4 days a week with my team. Back in my old company. We would go out and get 100 customers every week. That was no big thing for us. And I went to the bad part of town to get them. But you would never know that because I do whatever it takes. And so many of y'all are sitting at your house, sitting around, not doing nothing in your business. You ain't put an IBO in and you're waiting on your downline. And look, if I waited on my downline, I look at what Al Thomas can produce every month. My downline is a blessing, or the gravy on the icing on the cake. Some of y'all sitting around waiting to get the next position. You waiting on people in your team to do it. You go do it. Man, let me tell y'all something. I would go door knocking as a 7 door knocking. My team would look at me like, okay. They would come to my mansion. They come up to my house, and I might just tell y'all that story today. Y'all just comfortable, just being comfortable. I can't do that. I'm 6 days a week full on with ACN. And if I can't make it, or my internet, so what? I got leaders to pick up. When is the last time y'all went all out? What are you fearful of? Man, I was doing 6 figures knocking on doors, but nobody knew it. Because I could care less. You're so worried about what people gonna say about you. You're so scared. Let me tell you, I got 4 people says, tell me the story, tell me the story. Let me tell you what I used to do back in the day. Okay, I would go to the bad area of town. 11 o'clock, because they get up at 11 o'clock, the drugs and alcohol war about 11 o'clock. It was safe. And I'm honest to God, hey, I did whatever it took. Because I didn't care what people said about me. Some of y'all still too scared of what they think. I would get my guys together. There'd be 3 or 4 of us, and we'd all chip in like 50 cents or $1. And the winner of the day would go down to the local store and get Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and the winner would get the 3. The other 3 had to watch it. My Miss Collins, all my guys, the best Coke, the coldest I ever had in my life. I'm sorry, you lost the contest. We made fun out of it. So y'all have not even think. To think is to create, and to create is to think. You're doing the same thing a year ago as you did this year. You're not creating nothing. No new IBOs, no customers. I would go kill for it. So I said, okay, guys, I get $100. I go down to the bank. I get all $5 bills and maybe $10 in ones. Then I go to the 99-cent store. So y'all sitting above. So y'all too good for this kind of stuff. But let me tell you what I would do. I would go to the 99-cent store. I go down and get a big old bag of candy. I get 5 bags of candy for $5. And I have my cargo pants on, and I have my XL shirt on for the company I had before I got involved with ACN, my XL shirt. And I have my little clipboard, right? I have my little clipboard. And on my clipboard, Lord have mercy, y'all made me go crazy up in here. I don't have it. Oh, here, let me use this little $3 bill here. On my clipboard, okay, this is my clipboard, okay? You see, let me go. I have my little $5 bill in my clipboard. I have my forms, my what they call forms to be a customer. And I have my clipboard, clip this on the clipboard. And I get the candy in all my pockets, right? 4 pockets, the cargo pants, pockets be bulging with candy. Bulging, what's the candy for? I'm gonna tell you in a minute. Some of y'all too good. Bulging with candy. And I had the rest of my money, I had $15, 2 $5 bills in this pocket here, and 10 ones over here. And I'd get out and we'd hit the apartment. We'd go to apartment buildings. See, because apartment, if I had a house, ain't nobody home, they at work. You gotta walk from this one to that one. But in an apartment building, there's 30 apartments. I hit door after door after door. We could go through apartment building within 25 minutes, like Grant went through Richmond. And they would be home because they're low income. And I knock at the door and I say, excuse me, ma'am, I'm with Excel Communication. I'm here to give you $5 for trying my long distance service. And she's looking at like, you get it to me right now? Yeah, that $5, right now. And sometimes low income, they have 4 or 5 babies, you know, and they be, wah. I said, man, can I get the babies a candy? That's why I got the cargo pants full of candy. Here they go, one in. And all of a sudden the kids are like, so the kids are quiet. They're quiet. So you won't do nothing like that because you're too good. While you're broke still. Same position 10 years later. And I say, excuse me, we're gonna get the $5 to try the service right now. You give me that right now? Yeah. Thinking, oh, I get the baby some diapers, some milk. I go get me a little $5 bag, or whatever they want to do. Yeah, sign right here. Have a good day. And I said, hey, who else in here got a phone? The guy next door ain't got one 2 doors over. I said, thank you. Next. Hey, I was over to Melissa. She just signed up. I'm giving her $5. Little kids be on the bicycle. Mister, they ain't got no telephone over there. They got one. Here, come here. Let me give you guys $1 and a candy. To think is to create, and to create is to think. I ain't above all that. Back then, I did it. Some of y'all are just too cool to try something, to come up with an idea. Paul Mitchell came with an idea. He had a thought. He went and put it into play. He didn't ask nobody's permission. He didn't care what nobody said. He was broke. He was broke. He was broke. Some of y'all sitting under your wife, your husband, y'all ain't did jack in 6 months. Talking about how you doing ACN. Well, let me see what your numbers say. What your check look like last week? You ain't did jack. You ain't did jack. Shouldn't go eat until you do something. Some of y'all, all y'all do is eat all day long. Eat all day long. Why you eating? You ain't did nothing. You don't even deserve to eat. My God. Americans. Boy, I tell you what. That man went from homeless to billionaire. And I'm trying to get y'all to move to get some people on the call. What else y'all got? Say it ain't above me. I mean, by the time 5 o'clock rolled around, the sun was going down. They're getting ready to get on their drugs, the music popping. By the hey, Mr. Lewis, when the music went up, I left. It was time to go by then. It was time to go. It was time to get out the hood. It was time. Yeah, hey, everybody with it. Blacks went with me, whites went with me, Asians, everybody went together. We were a team, 4 of us were together. We all had a bad day with me was getting 3 services. A good day is 10 to 15. One day I think I did 22 in one day. I took the next day off.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes, sir.
I need to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
It's so important because, you know, I have friends. We're all going through learning this stuff together, and we've learned a lot, especially this year. But one thing that I've learned, and I can see it in what you're saying, is that when I stop worrying about what my team is doing or trying to get someone to do something, and I went out there and just started recruiting people every single week, it became so freeing. When I was just stuck on the same people in my team, and I'm trying to, come on, man, you can do it. Come on. I will never sit there and do that because now I'm a slave. I have a job again.
Yeah.
But when I can go out there every single week, I just got a message yesterday, a guy I met November 16th and connected with him, sent him the presentation. He said, this is amazing. I just paid my bills. I'll be joining in 2 weeks. This is happening on a regular basis. I don't understand why people are stuck focusing on one guy or one gal when we're free and there's 300 plus million people and there are people that actually want to do it that you don't have to babysit. And it's just about becoming free again as a leader. Some of us were free before and we stopped being free because we focus on the same people. And that's one of the things I learned from you this year. So I appreciate that, sir.
You're welcome. Number 8 on my list, he says, God want you to be free, but you ain't gonna be free because you ain't doing jack to get free. You're sitting home. Hey, man, what's for dinner? Hey, man, hey, yeah. You ain't doing jack, but sitting at home getting fatter, bigger. I saw a picture a couple of weeks ago. It's too Spanish. It was in Spanish. Somebody sent it to me. This couple, husband and wife, I guess it could go from the pandemic, stupid stuff, and it racing for the door, and they were so big they couldn't get out. They're gonna look at each other and say, now what we do? Ain't made no money. Sitting there eating, look. I don't know what more to say, because to me, it's like the man said it all. Why haven't you got where you need to go? You need a team to succeed. Everything he said is relatable to ACN. Him and his brother was putting a shelter. Mama came on the weekend, did the best she could. Gave her all the money they made. Here, let me keep $1 for myself. And here you are living in comfort of ease in a beautiful location, and you're so scared to be, what they gonna say about me? They've been talking about you. Shoot, man, I don't get you guys. I don't know what more to say. This is leadership. What are you scared of? I've been doing this for 7 years, and it blows my mind. People can't get a customer. Oh, what are you fearing? There ain't nothing to fear. You ain't got to watch this. Some of you ain't got nowhere to go but up. You can reach up, and scratch your hand on the belly. You ain't got nowhere to go but up. What did you get involved with, Ace? Look, the kid today, man, he's driving a Lambo. I took a picture of it. I said, we can't post it because it's gonna be somebody, oh, he's with a Lambo. Look, you guys just think people got money. They're all broke right now. Don't you get it? The guy with a Lambo making 20 grand a month. I'm like, man, I need this. And you see somebody successful and you're scared to approach them. They're worse off than you are. Let me tell you a story. Donald Trump, when he was married to his third wife, Malario, and he was at a corner there in New York City, a block from his building, and there was a guy there with a can and some pins in it, selling pins on the corner in New York City. And Donald Trump looked at this, he said, hey, you know, Mar, you know what the difference between that guy and me? Go what? He's about 20 billion ahead of me, because he was so far in debt. He didn't let that stop him. Look, I'm sorry. We live in such a great country, and we're living so beneath our privileges. And some of y'all go to church on Sunday. I don't get that part. I really don't. What he said, God wants you to be free. Put your message out there. I do it every day. What I do, network marketing. America still works today. Wow. When he talking about he went door to door, I'm saying, yes, my hero, my hero. Some of y'all ain't never did in your life. Hey, you know what I'm excited about? Monday, what day is that? God bless, Lord have, y'all done pissed me off. What day is that? Monday, Wednesday, December 2nd. That is it, December 2nd. I am going to do live calls so you chickens can see how to be an eagle. I told them I'm gonna borrow my daughter's mind. So I'm gonna make it. Y'all give me. I'm gonna make calls live. Watch me fail. Watch this. Watch me, because you're too scared. Watch me fail. Watch me fail. Don't you realize the more I fail, the more forward I go up? So you give me I'm gonna make calls. I'm gonna make calls for that on 6 o'clock on December 2nd. That Wednesday night, I will be on this call making calls so you chickens maybe become an eagle. If they tell me no, do you think I care about what they say? Come on. So why do you give so much of a rat's back in what they say? Mark your calendars. You have no idea. I'm jacked up sideways. December 2nd can't come fast enough for me because I love it. See, whatever you feel for will always keep you in fear. But if you attack the fear with love, if you attack the fear, what do you say? Go after the fear. And you'll find that there's really no fear, but what you think is fear. F-E-A-R, false education appearing real, only in your little mind. He gave you an autonomous, a beautiful mind, a beautiful being. I get up every day, God, thank you. I'm so respectful. I'm so thankful. I'm so gratitude, attitude. My left leg, my right leg, y'all both going today. Oh my God, thank you. Wow. December 2nd, Mr. Al Thomas is going to go down in the flames. You're right. Just like somebody went on the cross for you, I'm going down in the flames to show you it ain't that bad, it ain't that hard. Just like when he started in that power hour, y'all. Some of y'all never did that before. thinking you were doing AC and you weren't doing AC and you joking with yourself. Well, I called some people, nobody showed up. But when we all get together with our cameras on, everybody can see it. I'm transparent. Some of y'all sit there like you think you're doing work, you're watching TV. I know what y'all doing. You ain't fooling nobody but yourselves, because your numbers will tell the story. Your numbers will tell the story. Everything I ever touched, I got to the top of. Everything every time I got to, why can't you get there? Why can't I see your name on the back office there somewhere, your name on the list? I don't get that part. Whew. Let me shut up. 2 more people want to share what they got out. I'm done. I'm done. Y'all got me. See, I got to walk around the block in the cold to cool down now. Feel like a car's motor's overheated. Because I'm ready to go. You have no idea. I will say set yourself on fire and the rest of the world will come out, watch you burn. Hey, Miss Wiggins, thank you so much. She put out 109 flyers, got no response. Congratulations, dear. Put out another 109. And then another 109, then another 109. And then once your income started catching up, everybody, ooh, why did she do it? Miss Collins, same thing. Started to get on these calls, got results. I'm doing, she takes note. She's always on this. I've never seen Miss Collins not take notes. Some of y'all pretend like y'all taking notes. Y'all ain't taking. And then also, because I could see the result, her results, now she got Miss Kaz on, now she got Miss Mr. Abs on, and the other RDs out there, Miss Ingrid's on, because why? She got results from the conversation. The reason why you don't have nobody, because you got no results, because you're not putting the emphasis in doing the things we give you. We give you the best of the best of the best on here. Your results. A said it never sent me a check for this. Well, Al Thomas says a check for trying. Yeah, just tried again, sorry. Just tried. Hey, good try, sir. I never got a check for trying. I got a check on results. When last time you got a check? What about weekly? What about 5 a month? See, I'm not here to embarrass anybody. I already know already, because I see it. Miss Wiggins, put out another 109 flyers, sweetheart. Dear, I'm proud of you. Keep going. Man, y'all, you should see my flyer. Who was that called me the other day? I had a guy in my downline, called me, an old downline out of Albuquerque, called me, Miss Thomas, I got one of your flyers from years ago. I use it in my insurance business. It works. I'm going, no kidding. Why do you think I've been doing it for 20 some years? Everything I ever given you, it works. Some of y'all let it go in this ear, out that ear. It works. I didn't get all these trophies and all if what I'm giving you didn't work. Wow. If it didn't work, one or two more persons, I gotta go.
Mr. Thomas?
I gotta walk around the block, cool off. Shoot, I'm just fired up right now. As I walk down my sidewalk, I might bust a couple of Christmas bulbs because they feel the heat off my chest right about now. Just because I'm excited. Habits, skills. What kind of skill set do you have? What kind of habits have you formed all this time? What would they say? If you died tomorrow, what would your tombstone say? He tried. She was all right. What would your tombstone say? Who have you helped? Who have you blessed? Who have you changed? Who? What would your tombstone say? Well, I don't know. That's sad. How many people show up for your funeral? How many lives have you changed? How many have you touched? How many people talking about you? See, you ain't got no people talking about you. What would your tombstone say? Well, he was trying to.
Can I say something, Mr. Thomas?
Yes,
I didn't get to watch the whole thing. This is Perla Bernal from Orange County, California. I didn't get to see the whole thing because I had to jump off to a Spanish presentation and come back. But you know how sometimes they say when you show up, the meeting needs you, or sometimes you need the meeting. And right now, this presentation, showing up to everything, this is why it's so crucial, because right now, this has been so powerful. This is the men that I met when I first got into this business. And when people say, why are you so fond of Mr. Al Thomas? This is who I met. this is a man that I saw and I heard and I saw and I followed, and I've seen this in live action, to 120 degrees out there passing flyers with me. And right now, I needed this leadership. You know, I needed to listen to this. So I'm so grateful and thankful that I participated, and I could have just easily said I finished and I just got off, but I jumped right back on. And I think this part was what I needed for my soul to be able to get back where I need to get back. And so thank you so much. I don't know what I missed, but I know that it was a divine timing for me to listen to this person, because this is what I know. So thank you so much. So I'll let you guys back to your thing. So thank you.
Thank you so much, and 100. Watch this. Wait, this has had to be about 6 years, 7 years ago. We're out in 108 degree. How much?
5 years ago, and it was like 120-degree weather outside in the mid-summer in Las Vegas, Nevada. For more than 8 hours, Mr. Al Thomas didn't even know the Spanish. We passed out more than thousands and thousands of flyers outside of Spanish Mexican markets. He would say, "Hola, ¿cómo estás? Te invito." That's all he knew. That's all he needed to know. He was sweating. Poor guy. He was just like, he has all that hair. He needed to wear a hat and everything. He was out there doing whatever he could. Not even for him. He was doing it for us, the other people that needed it to get it done. When he says do it, he doesn't say you go do it. He goes out there and does it with you. So I'm just so grateful and thankful.
That was you, me, Veronica, Mr. O'Neill, and Miss Glenda Lee. God,
everybody that really wanted to win, there was like about because they kicked us out of a lot of Spanish marketplaces. They kicked us out. Like we weren't allowed to be there. So we started to find every other one. So we just started kind of split in different places, and it was about 10 of us. So we would go 3 or 4 of us, and we would pass out in the flyers. We would put them on the cars, and then when people were coming out or going in, we would give them flyers. So it was pretty cool. We would stay there about 8 or 9 hours to fill out one meeting of more than 300 or 400 people.
That's right, because Mr. Larry Raskin was coming to Las Vegas, and I said, Larry, I guarantee you. Look, watch this. I guarantee we have 300 or 400 people. In Spanish, he said, Al, I'm running Mexico. I understand, Al. It's for Mexican people. I said, Larry, I got you. I got you. He goes, Al, it's got to be. I said, I got you. We had a Spanish flyer made up. We had an after lunch for people that did. Look, he said, how you gonna get all those Spanish people there? You don't speak Spanish. I said, Larry, it's Al Thomas you're talking to, by God. Who the heck you think you're talking to? He started laughing. He goes, I forgot I'm talking to Al Thomas. Are you that powerful? No, you ain't that powerful. Mr. Payon, you know what I did? Don't even speak the language. I could have been Japanese. I've been outside the market. I told him, hey, it didn't make no difference to me. Don't you guys get it?
We did so much commotion that people from different states, other SVPs flew in he even flew someone in from a different Europe, I think Mr. Phil Moser at that time. The people from different countries were coming to see the whole commotion. Not only that, we filled out executive only for people that were very elite people at a whole different restaurant. And it was crazy. And I watched all of this happen before my eyes. So when I see that, I'm telling you that I needed this part, this is the man that I met. And that's why I'm 100% faithful to this man, because when he's talking to you guys, like he said about the lollipop, the popsicles and whatever, he's not kidding. Like we've got kicked out of a lot of places, and I witnessed it. And that's why he's where he's at, in the most humble way. He doesn't say it to just tell you guys, because I witnessed it for a couple of years.
But y'all got me so worked up right now. That's why I'm telling y'all something. You see, this time was never. You have no idea. We did that for 4 or 5 days. And I promised Larry Raskin's 350 people minimum. He says, Al, how you gonna do that? I says, give me a month. Some of y'all, I come to your town, you can't get 5. I went out in 120, passing flyers out, putting on cars, ran out of this place, didn't speak Spanish. When they come start, I didn't know what they were saying. I stand outside, hola, ¿qué pasa? Hola, buenos días, buenos días. Hey, I did whatever it took. I did whatever. See, y'all ain't gonna do whatever it takes because you're so comfortable being broke.
2.5 weeks.
Right
we did
now.
that in 2.5 weeks.
And we all went out together, doing it together. When last time y'all passed out flyers for someplace or put them on the parking lot cars? Yes, well, not me. What are they gonna say? Man, I used to put them in Sacramento. I used to go down the phone booth to Sacramento, one side of Watt Avenue, every Saturday morning. I spent an hour and a half putting flyers in the pay phones. And the phone company called me one day. This the guy with the flyer. I turned lemon to lemonade. Don't you get it? I said, oh my God. I had those flyers in the back of my pickup truck. Them kids took it out and must have posted them. I am so sorry. The phone company said, never mind, sir. Never mind, we got you. Don't worry about it. See, I just make it. What are y'all scared of? I got 15 apps out of it. And the 15 turned about 34 that time. Y'all are so analytical. Get off your freaking butt and go do something. Get your rear end in gear. Quit trying to, we're gonna get it all perfect. Ain't nothing perfect. You ain't perfect. But get off your rear end and do something different. Man, I just don't understand. Write this down. This is the last word. I gotta go because I gotta walk out here and cool off. I might bust a few bulbs. I'm so hot off my chest and my neighbor's lights outside just by me walking by the house. Look, write this down. To think is to create. And to create is to think. Y'all are so scared. So scared. What are you scared of? Failure? You can't fail. He don't make junk. He giving you everything you need inside of you, but you're not utilizing it. He's up there, I swear he's up there laughing at some of us. I gave you a gift and you're hiding it under, oh my God, you're hiding it. So many lives you could touch. Mr. Payon, so many lives you could touch. Quit asking, just do it. Left foot over right foot. Yes.
I think Mrs. Saunders, Dee Dee, wanted to say something and I cut her off. So I don't want to, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Mrs. Saunders, I cut her off, sorry.
Who was that?
Dee Dee Saunders.
Okay, Dee Dee, you're up.
I was just, that's okay. I appreciate you, Ms. Bonar. I was just going to share with what my notes that I've been taking. He started out saying, learn to be empathetic to what's around you and the needs of others. And I thought that was a powerful way to get, the attention of what we were talking about. Then he also, I appreciate him saying, learn to help people, helping other people out. And don't be afraid to put out the message. All of that connected to everything that we're doing and everything that you're saying. So it all, it was a full circle and your passion definitely brought it home for me.
Bless you, Dee Dee. You know what, Dee Dee, let me tell you something. We all have to put the word of ACN out there. That's how you comes back. That little book says, cast your care upon the waters. Oh my God, it won't come back. Oh, let me shut up. See, y'all don't know what y'all mess with me now. So y'all have no idea, you're messing with me. You're living beneath what God has given you. You guys have no idea what you could do and what you've become, but it starts in 2020 to get you to 2021. And you are so great. Yes.
It's Caroline out in New Mexico.
Yes, dear.
So now that we're in lockdown, all the Walmarts and the Smiths, they have huge lines. So my sister and I, we've been handing out flyers to all the people that are in the lines with the gloves and the masks and everything. And we've been getting a lot of hits. So glad to see flyers are going out. But there's so many people, the line is wrapping around. So if you guys are in lockdown, that's an idea as well there.
Hey, you're locked down 10 o'clock, you can go out and put flyers. Look, if I have somebody closing their business, go there and put the flyers out. Walmart, my God, look around. Kmart, well, I'm in Kmart. Target, just go in the park and put the flyer. If you're scared of people, put them on the cars. Like, you know what, God, let me tell you something. To think is to what? Tell me again, to think is to what? Come on, somebody tell me.
Create. To think is to create.
And once you start
create is think.
Is to think.
Right.
Create is to think.
Mr. Tim, do you have that shirt on? Go get that shirt. Go get that shirt. Go get that shirt real quick. Let me show y'all something. He had that on. I said, man, where can I buy one? He said, don't worry, I'll send you several of them. Because that's what I want to walk around with. Y'all not even advertising who you are, what you got going on. Set yourself on fire and the rest of the world come out and watch you burn. Why they got all these props here? Get her done. Man, I'm walking around with all kind of stuff on. Get her done. Hey, man. The guy had some chewing back. I had my bubble gum. Yeah, we're gonna get it done. Y'all are scared to talk to people. That is what they got you doing, Fred. Well, where's something that somebody's gonna come and get attracted to you? Look at this. I love my residual income. What reason? Oh. Money keeps coming. Yo, what if I wore, look, I wear that 7 days. I wouldn't even wash it. I might wash it. But what would that get me some business? Dee, would you, if you had that on and walk through the Walmart giving that out, man, your phone be buzzing off and think of the vibrator. Y'all don't, you're not, that's what I'm talking, get creative with it. Get jiggy with it. Come on, y'all.
Get jiggy with it.
Mr. Thomas, I got another question for you. Bam! Go.
Mr. Thomas, share about your socks. Your stories about your socks.
Oh, when I first got in network marketing, I went and got my first check. My first check was $3.70, my first residual check. And it was so funny. So I went down to the mall where I've been kicked out of 4 times, and sometimes 4 times in a week. And as the guy would walk me out the door, he walked me out the door. I said, what time you get off? He said 5 o'clock. I said, okay, good. I'll be back at 6. There's no shame in my game. Y'all so scared. I'm back at 6 o'clock. And I bought some socks. They were money socks. There were socks. I know this don't look right, but they're socks with money on them. And I bought I paid about $3.25. So I took my first residual check, and the first thing I did with that residual check is bought me some $ socks. And I walk around the mall with the $ socks on, and I walk up to people like, hey, I see you looking at my socks. Watch this. Even though they weren't looking, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna look. And I said, I see you looking at my sock, and I put my pant leg up so you can really see it. I see you looking at my socks. And they say, yeah, they start laughing, right, Mr. Lewis? I said, watch this, write this down. My business bought those socks. My what? My business bought those socks. And you know what people, you know what they'd ask me next? Well, come on, what would you ask me if I said that to you?
What's your business?
What's your
I'm glad
business?
you asked. Every time a phone ring, and I point to people in the mall, every time people's phone ring on these people, I get paid every time their phone ring. Bam! Got a name and number right there, Dee. It was nothing for me to go out and get 5 or 6 names every day and walk around the mall. And then I leave that mall, I go to Sunrise Mall in Sacramento. I'm hit 3 or 4 malls in a day. I knew the security guys. I'm telling you, you have no idea. I take some of my little flyers I put inside, I go in the men's store and I put them inside the jeans. Girls are gonna put them inside the blouse or the jackets. They buy a jacket to get home. Well, what's this? God, y'all are just, y'all. I tried everything under the sun that was right, legal, and above board that I could do. And you wonder why I'm where I'm at on top of 2 network marketing companies. I don't give a freaking rat's back in. Some of y'all need to get out of your house tomorrow morning and hit the area. Hit the wall, get out and don't come back till after sundown. She ain't going nowhere, he ain't going nowhere. They may be proud of you. Bring home the bacon. My God, it's not that difficult, folks. And especially as the world slowed down since March, 300 million people are freaking out, don't know what to do. The guy making $300,000, he lost half his income, got a first mortgage, second mortgage, he ain't paying no more. He got a house up at the lake, he got a brand new kid, and he got 1 in private school, and you talk about you can't get him. And I got a guy driving a freaking Lamborghini today, signing up. Don't tell me that stuff. Lazy person, lazy. Your rear end is big. Oh my, what? Get off your couch, get off everything. Go do something with your business. Look at your numbers. They ain't moved in years. My God, it's not that difficult, folks. It's the phone ring. We save people money. We get paid. Tell them it's a bag of rocks. Mr. Thomas, I got another question. What is Nike's slogan? Excuse me. What is Nike's slogan?
Just do it.
There it is.
Just do it.
Y'all need to tattoo that on your forehead. Walk down the street tomorrow. What's that? Just do it. Yeah, come here. I can't, where's Mr. Tim at? I can't wait to get them shirts. Where's Mr. Tim at? Look, where is he at? Oh, Lord, look.
Turn around, see the back.
I love my residual income. Do you think I'm gonna wear that like day and night, night and day? Watch this. Why couldn't y'all think of something like that and go have a shirt made? I don't know, Mr. Thomas. It's a good idea. God. To get wealth, look, if you can't get wealth in America, you can't do it nowhere. You can't do it nowhere. Why do you think everybody want to come to America? Neil Diamond wrote a song about it. They're coming where? To America. They're not going to Iraq, Ukraine, Russia, Yugoslavia. They're coming to America. And you've been your whole life, you can't see an opportunity and you're involved with one, you ain't taking it to the next level. That's why when I go to international, I see guys can't speak English, women can't speak our language, I go nuts. If they could do it and you speak English, how do you go to meeting after meeting and don't get that part? How does that make you feel? They go on stage, can't barely speak. I've been in the country 4 days, 6 hours, and 2 minutes. I'm already RD. See, Ben right here, RD. Next week, I'll be RVP, and 2 days after that, I'll be SVP. Am I? This is so sick. We got the easiest business in the freaking world. We have the easiest business. But instead of doing it, we're asking questions. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. No more questions. Just do it. Just do it. Matter of fact, I had it on my desk. My son's been in my office. I used to keep a sign on my desk, just do it. And then I have another sign on my desk. It says, just go to work. 3 signs. Just go to work. Just go to work. And the other 3, just do it. 3 easy things that will make you a fortune. It'll make you a fortune. Have you noticed Al Thomas is not analytical? Yeah. Have you noticed Al Thomas don't know half the stuff that's in there? Yeah. Do you know that Al Thomas have no idea what rates are? Yeah, he's a dumb son of a gun, ain't he? Yeah, yeah. But why is he so successful? Because he keeps it simple. Hello, I keep it simple. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. You heard me say it before, Miss Sensational. My mother brought me 3 times as a baby, Mr. Carver, and once was on a nail. That's why I ain't all here. But you know what? You ain't got to be hard. You ain't got to be having all duck soup. You don't have to have. See, I don't like perfect people. I'm not perfect. I'm everything but perfect. What did he say? A common people come together. A common people
come together, do extraordinary things.
Lord have mercy. My dad was a sergeant in the service. We ate beans 3 days a week. I thought I was a Muslim. But you know what? It ain't got nothing to do with that. I decided. I made a decision. I made a decision. I hate where I was. I wanted to change it. See, if you hate where you are, you'd have changed it. You're still comfortable. 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 See, if you weren't comfortable, those numbers of yours would change weekly. I would have to say nothing to you.
I'm doing it.
Oh my God. Let me shut up. Let me get out of here. I got to walk around the block to cool off. It's 34 degrees. I don't know. I got to walk. I got to cool off. Y'all got my motor on overdrive right now. I'm overheating. I'm going to walk around with a short and some flip-flops on outside. I'm burning up right now. You have no idea. And what gets me is it's so simple. 3 services, $75. 5. Everybody wants to save money. How do you put up $240 and not make $600 without no IBO? Like I told a guy today, without no IBOs. You made your watch this. Economical professors and analytical people that have degrees. How much of the return on your investment? 240 have you made back 600. What is that? 2.5 times your money legally in 30 days. Come on. And you can't get nobody to see the side of that. Hey, everybody wants to make money. Can I show you to double and triple your money? That'd be another t-shirt I think about getting. Let me show you to double your money in the next 30 days. Man, I probably get mugged. Hey, sir, hey, my name, sir. Hey, come here. Hey, Davey, y'all be watching me on the 6 o'clock news. I'll be running down the street, people chasing me. What did he do? Like OJ, what did he do? He had a t-shirt on and showed people how to double their money. But see, I'm crazy enough to do something like that, but you still won't do it. I even gave you another idea. Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, that's a good one, sir. How was that again? Let me double your, let me slow you.
Double your money.
All right, I'm done. Let me get out of here. Mr. Chris King, is he still on here tomorrow night? Mr. King has a helm. Is he still on here? Mr. Chris King, is he still on here? Uh-oh. All right. Oh, there he is. Mr. King and Miss King will have the helm tomorrow night on our Sunday night product training. Look, folks, I'm not here to make anybody feel less than, but I'm here to get you moving. Because do you realize that this month is a couple more days and we're off into the last stretch of the year? And you guys got to get ready for 2021. Look, as my mentor Peter Daniels said, life is not a dress rehearsal. I spent Thanksgiving 16 hours with him on Thanksgiving. Life is not a dress rehearsal. My billionaire mentor in Australia, it's not a dress rehearsal. My God, I'm still leaning up the nuggets of wisdom that he dropped on me. I'm here to tell you, you're great. Now go out there, show your family, show yourself, be that light and a beacon in your community, because we need leaderships like you. As the world is getting dimmer and dimmer, you are a needed commodity to show people it could be done. I need more of you like me out there. And you have it in you. Otherwise, you would have never gave it to you. Do you know what predestined means? Before the foundation of the earth, you were destined to be on this call tonight. Not everybody, but you, because of the greatness that he put inside of you. And my job, if I got to kick it, I'm not trying to kick it, but you got to go deep and do something with your life. Make it count. Make it count. I made mine count and I'm still got a long way to go. I ain't got a first year yet. I'm still going strong as I was 27 years ago when I first got started. I'm still going crazier. You can rest when you die. You got a long way ahead of you. Shouldn't eat until you do something. Now let's go make it count. Be that person that she loves. Be that man that, oh my, be that person. Be that person. Be a blessing to your community. Let's make it count. See everybody tomorrow night. God bless.